Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Connoisseur'S conversation. In today's selection, I want to introduce you guys to a fragrance that came on my radar in 2022 and has become quite an enigmatic and paradoxical fragrance and has gotten some hype in the community of fragrance connoisseurs. If that sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down. This is the channel where we aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the different facets, aromas, and nuances from scent cigars to wine. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. And as stated, I'm going to introduce you guys to a fragrance that came on my radar in 2022 by the house of Narcotica, and this is Narcotica Amber Intense, a straight de parfum from the house of Narcotica, as I stated. Very nice presentation, amber juice, great spray, atomizers, fine mist, very paradoxical fragrance. This is one that is a very, very elegant perfume that came in and has such an aura about it. It's a very unique fragrance that you must get your nose on if you're into amber-based fragrances. What I get in particular from this fragrance that draws me in and makes me want to come closer and closer to the fragrance is one of the best uses of juniper style of Cassius, which is a very, very almost animatic style, very astringent animatic style of juniper berry. Not juniper berry, but Cassius. It's the juniper style that I smell in it. This also has a blonde tobacco, which creates this enigmatic feel around a leathery labdanum note and a very, very vanillic amber accord. Now, the term DOZA, as some sites state, that this means nearly perfect. And for me, as an amber-based fragrance and an amber accord lover, this is by far one of the most unique fragrances I've come across that I have I'm trying to place it on my collection, the stratosphere of where amber perfumes come into play. It comes in very, very high, at least top 5 of my amber fragrances in my collection. It is one of the most unique smells that I've come across in my fragrance journey. The way that they use this leathery labdanum that comes off almost waxy and floral, along with a very, very vanillic, sweet, almond-touched amber cord. And it comes into play in the mid with this smoky guaiac wood and cedar from Texas. It all comes into play across this very nice and almost fougere-like cypress accord. So it's these very nice up and down pitches to the accords coming to this fragrance that makes it such an enigma to wear this fragrance. It's very, very peppery. The way that the fragrance come across is one that I would say, if you can have a style personality to run this adjacent to, this will be the most interesting man in the world. If you guys remember the commercial for the Dos Equis guy, this is his fragrance. It has such a high pitching tone and hue from it with the opening that almost stays completely with this fragrance. The Cassius, that I love the way Cassius can come off in some fragrances, and I hate it in others. I will say that. It's not one of those notes that you fall in love with in every fragrance when you place it in. This is not a smooth Cassius note. It's a very rough, almost squished, ripening Cassius that lays over that smooth, supple, leathery touch of labdanum. And then the amber accord is a boozy style of amber that is unique as the fragrance like Roger Dove's Enigma or Creation E. This is one of the fragrances that came into my life over the last few months, and I can't get enough of wearing it. It's so, it draws you in. It makes you think that you are the most, this thing gives you a sense of intellectual prowess. It's that good of a fragrance. It makes you, it gives you solitude as well. It's very good. This is a great amber-based fragrance. And the way it has the juxtaposition of the opening with what is almost a flare of just peppery, spicy, woody notes, that labdanum and the amber that it settles into this base of frankincense and myrrh, becomes sweet and warming with that blonde tobacco. Very, very nice fragrance. They did a great job. The guy who perfumed this is named Claude Dirk. I don't have many of his fragrances to even give a reference of how his his perfume style is, but once I got this in a sample, I had to have it. Narcotica is almost, I don't know if it's brand new, but it's a fairly new perfume house on the market that I produced 3 fragrances. 2 I've tested, 1 I've purchased, and that's the DOZA. Very nicely done, ambery, leathery, slightly aromatic and peppery amber accorded scent that is fantastic. Very paradoxical. And as I stated, it may be the new Enigma on the block. It has that much of an accord of blonde tobacco and those ambery tones with that nicely done cypress and backdrop of guaiac and cedar wood. So it's woody, spicy, vanillic, ambery, all the things you look for in a fragrance like Enigma Creation E have been placed in this fragrance with very much so different calibrations to the way they did it, making it a much more, in my opinion, intriguing fragrance as well. I love it. I'm glad I got it in my collection. This thing came filled to the top Extrait de Parfum, and I've taken it, worn it maybe 15 times since I've had it. And it's a very, very great fragrance. And the projection on this scent is so explosive. It fills a room. This is not one of those extraits that sticks around the skin. This thing fills a room, for me at least. Any room I walk in with this fragrance on, someone can smell you 5 to 6 feet away, especially the way that Cassius note develops in the beginning. Again, this is from the house of Narcotica. This is DOZA. This has been the Connoisseur's Conversation. One of my favorite picks for amber fragrances that I've come across in a few years. Very good. Just an almost, I would say this too, it's not an everyday fragrance, but it is one that I tend to come to and am attracted to wear every day. It is a very upscale fragrance, and it has an elegance to it as well that you will love to have in your collection. I like it a lot. I actually would recommend someone getting a sample of this particular fragrance and see it. Take it for a test trial, but for me, it was a buy on first sniff. And that is, again, DOZA by the House of Narcotica. Get your nose on it. Let me know what you guys think. The black currant is just, it's crazy how the thing come out. Very unique fragrance. Everyone, that is my conversation with you guys today. My experience. I hope that you got something out of this particular experience that was fun for you. And if so, just hit the like below. Let me know if you guys are wearing any new fragrances coming up. The spring is beginning to break in a few weeks. We're going to be coming out with some spring fragrances. I know how fun that is for a lot of us. So let's tune in for those particular videos to be coming out soon. And as always, you guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.